Long-distance relationships are notorious for having a high degree of difficulty. On the surface, it would seem that the internet would make it easier to cope with being away from the one you love. But while video chats and instant messages are indeed essential links to a faraway sweetheart, they're also a painful reminder of what's missing. And that's when Terushou decided to visit his boyfriend. From Tokyo, Daishou Suguru. Yes, he traveled 5 hours from Miyagi to Tokyo just to visit his boyfriend. That's just how much he missed him, and how dedicated he is to see him. After hours of travel and minutes of walking, he finally made it to Daishou's house. He can't wait to see him. Months of being apart was torture to him. Little did he know it was also pain for Daishou being apart for so long. Teru knocked on the door 3 times, hoping someone would answer. Luckily, a woman who looked like in her mid-40s opened the door. It was Sugiru's mother. Yuji, what a nice surprise to see you. Hello Mrs. Daishou. Is Suguru home? Yes, he's up in his room cleaning, but he should be done by now. Come in darling, I'm sure Suguru missed you too. Terushou removed his shoes, placing them near a shoe rack near the door. He quickly glanced around the living room. He's only been at their house a few times before, but it still remained as beautiful as ever. As Terushou looked around more, he noticed a girl that he has never seen before sitting on the couch watching something on Netflix. She looked to be in her early 20s. The girl looked at Terushou with a confused look. The blonde froze in place from her piercing gaze as she stared him down. Mom, who the heck is this? This is Sugiru's boyfriend. You know, the one you've been teasing him about. Ah, so you're the brat's boyfriend? Nice to meet you. I'm Nagami, his older sister. Hey, I'm Terushou Yuji. I'm also the captain of Jizenji in the Miyagi prefecture. You should go see Suguru now. His room is upstairs to the left. Terushou nodded as he walked up the stairs, turning to the left to find Sugiru's room. But as he got closer, he could hear muffled music coming from Daishou's bedroom. He quietly opened the door to reveal Daishou cleaning his room whilst singing to one of the more nostalgic songs of the year.
Well, maybe I came on too strong. Maybe I waited too long. Maybe I played my cards wrong. Oh, just a little bit wrong. Oh, baby, I apologize for it. I could fall or I could fly here in your aeroplane. And I could live, I could die hanging on the words you say. And I've been known to give my all and jumping in harder than 10,000 rocks on the lake. So don't call me baby unless you mean it. And don't tell me you need me if you don't believe it. So let me know the truth before I dive right into you. You're a mystery. I've traveled the world and there's no other girl like you. No one. What's your history?
What's your history?
Do you have a tendency to lead some people on? 'Cause I heard you do. I could fall or I could fly here in your aeroplane. And I could live, I could die hanging on the words you say. And I've been known to give my all and lie awake every day. Don't know how much I can take. So don't call me baby unless you mean it. And don't tell me you need me if you don't believe it. So let me know the truth before I dive right into you. fly here in your aeroplane. And I could live, I could die hanging on the words you say. And I've been known to give my all, sitting back, looking at every mess that I've made. So don't call me baby unless you mean it. And don't tell me you need me if you don't believe it. Let me know the truth before I dive right into you. Before I dive right into you. And before I dive right into you.
How long have you standing outside my door, pretty boy? Long enough to get a free concert from you. Terushou hid his head in Daishou's shoulder, slightly sniffing his scent. Daishou just laughed and continued to stroke Terushima's hair. I missed you, Suguru. Heh, I missed you too, Yuji. The blonde pulled away from Daishou's neck and attached his lips onto the other. Daishou placed his hands on Terushima's cheeks to deepen the kiss. The kiss was full of love and passion, the warm feeling in their stomachs began to grow as they embraced each other more. They pulled away for air, the two smiled and placed their foreheads together. At this point they didn't want to let go of the other, they wouldn't want to after months being without each other. Daishou was first to pull away, making Terushima pout and whine from the loss of physical contact. Daishou just laughed and patted his cheek. Did you really just travel 5 hours from Miyagi just to see me? Oh come on, I missed you so much, Suguru. I know, I missed you too, Teru. Then they heard a bit of hissing. It was Daishou's pet snake, Yumi. Yumi was a Japanese rat snake, which is funny when you think about it. Daishou had Yumi for about 2 years and he just loved her, although Terushima did not. He had this weird rivalry against the snake on who would get Suguru's attention. Daishou took Yumi out of her terrarium and placed her around his arms. Terushima instantly started a stare down with the snake, glaring at it even. The demon snake, we meet again. Yuji, Yumi is a snake, and she's not even venomous. What the heck are you talking about? That snake is taking away your attention for me. Daishou just looked at his boyfriend and started booping Yumi on the snoot. Terushima sulked even more and whined for Daishou's attention. The older male sighed and placed Yumi back in her terrarium. He went to Terushima and started stroking his hair again, hoping he would stop sulking. Terushima then grabbed Daishou and pulled him into his bed, with Daishou on top of him while he was laying on the bed. Daishou laughed at his boyfriend's actions and proceeded to lean in to kiss him again. Will you stop being jealous of a snake now? HMPH, fine, but I want more of your attention. And I thought I was the touch-starved one in this relationship. They both laughed. Daishou laid on Terushima's chest as the blonde began to play with his hair, which was comforting to the third year. I'm really glad you came over, Yuji. I was really feeling lonely without your touch. I'm too. I thought I was going to lose my mind if I didn't feel your warmth again. Suguru, Yuji, please come downstairs. The two sat up from the bed and went downstairs. Both Suguru's mother and sister were getting ready to go out of the house. Are there you two are? Hope you had enough time to catch up. We did. I'm glad. Well, I have to get going. I have to work the night shift again, and I need to help your sister, so I won't be back until tomorrow morning. You two can help yourselves to the fridge, and you can watch TV. Thanks, Mom. Take care of the brat for me, Terushima, and try not to make a mess. Oh, stop saying those things. Daishou's mom and sister waved them goodbye and drove away in the car, leaving Daishou and Terushima in the house alone. Teru pulled Daishou closer to him and proceeded to kiss his forehead and neck. Geez, you really need attention. Terushou hid his face onto Daishou's shoulder and mumbled something. The older male just sighed and pulled Teru to the couch. I'll get us some snacks. Go pick out a movie for us to watch, K. The blonde nodded as his boyfriend went into the kitchen. He began to browse through the different movies until he stumbled across a movie he's never seen before. Hey, this'll do. Just then Daishou came back with snacks and drinks in his arms. He placed them on the coffee table right in front of the couch as he sat next to his boyfriend, leaning his head on the other's shoulder. Phew, those were hard to carry. So what movie did you pick? Just something random. I'm too lazy to read all. You're such a dork. But you're my dork. Throughout the movie, Terushou would occasionally glance at Daishou, who was actually paying attention to the movie. The way his hair flows whenever some sort of breeze flies past them, or how he snuggles closer to the blonde from time to time, or how he intertwines their fingers together. Terushou couldn't be happier of what he has now. In the middle of the movie, Terushou paused the movie, making Daishou confused and a bit annoyed, since he really liked the movie they were watching. Why did you pause the MO? Daishou was cut off by a pair of lips against his. Terushou had kissed him. The feeling of soft lips against his made Daishou melt. He kissed back the blonde. The two continued the kiss. Daishou ended up laying on the couch, with Terushou on top of him, still continuing their kiss. They both finally pulled away for air. Teru laid next to Daishou as the older male stroked his hair like before. Yuji smiled at the physical contact as he intertwined their fingers, locking them together. I love you, Suguru. I love you too, Yuji. No distance will ever separate me from you, or make me stop loving you. Daishou played the movie. He continued to stroke Terushima's soft hair. They didn't even pay attention to the movie anymore. They just gave each other attention throughout the night. The movie credits began to roll. Daishou stopped the movie and yawned. He heard light snoring beside him. Teru had fallen asleep. Poor guy, he must be tired from all the traveling he had to do. Daishou placed a pillow on his lap and slowly placed Terushima's head on the pillow. He then pulled the blanket onto his sleeping figure. He stroked his cheek gently as he gave the sleeping blonde a forehead kiss. Sleep tight, my little troublemaker. Minutes passed and Daishou slowly began to drift off to sleep. He looked at Terushou once more and smiled. He finally shut his eyes and began to sleep with his boyfriend sleeping on his lap. No distance could ever make these two lovebirds stop loving each other. Their love is just that strong that nothing can come between them. No matter how far away they are from each other, they will always find a way to connect each other.